Hey everyone, welcome to day 20 in our march toward Easter. And we're just nearing close to just being 1 week away from Easter. Excited for that. And we're going to be in Matthew chapter 20 today. So I encourage you to join me as we read along in this chapter. Let's do it. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them a denarius for the day and sent them into his vineyard. About 9 in the morning, he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, "You also go and work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. He went out again about noon and about 3 in the afternoon and did the same thing. About 5 in the afternoon, he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, "Why have you been standing here all day long, doing nothing?" "Because no one has hired us," they answered. He said to them, "You also go and work in my vineyard." When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and going on to the first." The workers who were hired about 5 in the afternoon came and each received a denarius. So when those came who were hired first, they expected to receive more. But each one of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. "These who were hired last worked only 1 hour," they said, "and you have made them equal to us, who have been borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day." But he answered one of them, "I am not being unfair to you, friend. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Take your pay and go. I want to give the one who was hired last the same as I gave to you. Don't I have the right to do what I want to do with my own money? Or are you envious because I am generous?" So the last will be first, and the first will be last. Now Jesus was going up to Jerusalem. On the way, he took the 12 aside and said to them, "We are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered over to the chief priests and the teachers of the law. They will condemn him to death and will hand him over to the Gentiles to be mocked and flogged and crucified. On the third day, he will be raised to life." Then the mother of Zebedee's sons came to Jesus with her sons and kneeling down asked for a favor of him. "What is it you want?" he asked. She said, "Grant that one of these 2 sons of mine may sit at your right and the other at your left in your kingdom." "You don't know what you're asking," Jesus said to them. "Can you drink the cup I'm going to drink?" "We can," they answered. Jesus said to them, "You will indeed drink from my cup, but to sit at my right or left is not for me to grant. These places belong to those for whom they have been prepared by my Father." When the 10 heard about this, they were indignant with the 2 brothers. Jesus called them together and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be your slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." As Jesus and his disciples were leaving Jericho, a large crowd followed him. 2 blind men were sitting by the roadside, and when they heard that Jesus was going by, they shouted, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us." The crowd rebuked them and told them to be quiet, but they shouted all the louder, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us." Jesus stopped and called them. "What do you want me to do for you?" he asked. "Lord," they answered, "we want our sight." Jesus had compassion on them and touched their eyes. Immediately they received their sight and followed him. I love the parable of the vineyard and the workers because it's so opposite of what I think should take place. I am one of those workers who screams out loud, "Hey, not fair." And then as I read through the Gospels, I'm quickly reminded, you're right. It's not fair. It's not fair that my son had to give his life for you. And I'm the generous one saying, hey, I will give all of this for you, and you didn't earn it. You didn't deserve it. There's no righteous act that you can do in your life that's going to equal it. But you see, I have this messed up mentality because of my mindset living here. It's hard to keep that kingdom mentality that it's not a matter of authority and acquiring things, but it's really about making sure that we're serving just as Jesus served. And he reminds his disciples this. And James and John get it wrong. And they're saying, hey, can we sit at the right and left hand of you? Because then it's going to mean that we have more authority. We have a better position. He's like, oh, you're going to eventually get it, that the right position is a position of serving. And when you keep that at the forefront of your mind, then you're going to be closest to me. You're going to be granted more. You're going to be given more. And so we don't serve to be able to get more. We serve because he first served us. We love because he first loved us. And it's out of his generosity that we now have life. I hope this is a great reminder to you today. In whatever genre or area that you're going to be working in, whether it's with friends, family, or in your workplace, that we don't deserve all that we've gotten. And when we keep that in mind and we just decide to serve because it's what he did for us, it sure does make it a lot easier. Have a great day, everyone.